Is going on? How are you? I am here to talk about a myth that I want to debunk. And that myth is that riches are in niches. And you can believe this if you want. You may have seen success in this, but I'm here to tell you there is a reason that I see so many people that this is not working for. And I want to debunk that with you and tell you what I see as a brand strategist, as somebody who is out in the forefront, able to look across many different platforms, many different industries, many different business types. And I'll tell you why. There is an oversimplification of the concept there are riches and niches. So what ends up happening? People take their business and their offering and they then dwindle it down to some type of niche, some type of industry, some type of focus, some group of people. And what this does is this creates what they think is a specialty, something that they can call out in the marketing, easily call out that group of people, and then those people will eventually just raise their hand and say, I need your service because I'm this type of person. I'm this type of group. Let me know if you're here. Say what's up. Drop me where your niche is. Are you in a niche or do you agree with me? So what I see with this is it turns into the like everyone's doing it, so I'm going to do it too. Just in the same manner, not every person needs a Facebook group. It is not going to be a medium that is wildly successful for certain types of businesses. You have to understand what type of avatar you have if they're even the kind of person who hangs out in a Facebook group and wants to contribute and commit and do all those kind of things. There might be other reasons that are great, like building authority, but it may not be the best thing in terms of lead generation. So I'm going to debunk some of these things. So when it comes to that thinking and you start to create your whole brand around serving a specific audience. For example, I was on the phone with a guy yesterday. He is very talented, has done business for a really long time, but he had created a whole offer and niched down to the roofing industry. Further examining that and saying, well, what is it that you're attracted to about roofers? Why do you want to go here? Why this? There was nothing below that. There was nothing there. And in that exploration, we realized that if there is no vision, a particular reason why you've niched down, and you've niched down because you think the roofing industry has a lot of money, or for example, financial advisors do, or lawyers do. That is what I call running on thin ice or running out of gas. It's like having gas, but there's no octane in it. So what happens is you can get behind that spirit for a while, but this guy who's serving roofers has no particular like affiliation or affinity for them. And what that ends up happening in terms of brand longevity is he will eventually say, I don't like them. I don't care for them. I don't even understand roofers, their lifestyle, how they work. I don't understand that type of personality, their families, and how they think. And they will just eventually, the offer will devolve. And this is all stuff I told him, and obviously I'm going to leave him incognito. But this is what I want you to warn. I want to warn you this. So specifically launch, I've done a ton of things. I don't sit here and talk about them often because I don't usually think they're relevant, but I just got asked this. I did computer science in my undergrad. I then went and did computer programming for 2 years. Then I realized office spaces were horrid for computer programmers, so I went back to school, got a master's in interior design, and then I worked not in corporate interior design for offices. I won a hotel award, so I went and did hotels and then corporate spaces. Then I worked within the federal government for a few years. Worked for Wyndham Hotel Group as their design director. All of these different things, and then worked for like this #1 design company in the world called Gensler. I worked there for a hot minute. And all of this and eventually I went back to corporate office design, designing for Fortune 500 companies. Why is this relevant? I'll tell you why. It's relevant because all of this mixture, almost like dog's breakfast, of a career path I've taken has allowed me to become so versed in so many different industries, so many different niches, so many different types of people that I see connections across industries because I have known, understood, learned what those people are, what they think, what's important to them. It's knowing your avatar at the deepest level possible. So here's what I want to tell you. If you've had a background like I have, one, first of all, pat yourself on the back. I was like totally put down in a lot of interviews for looking like I was all over the map with what I do and almost like being treated like I'm ADD or I'm not loyal. And I now look back at my career and say, I love the fact that I've touched this many industries, this many types of people, have had so much exposure, because now when I'm on a call with a prospect, I get them. If I'm talking to somebody who is a medical doctor, I understand them. If I talk to somebody who's a SaaS programmer, I get them. If I talk to somebody who is an architect who does residential design, I understand them. If they do brick and mortar versus if they're working in a large corporate place. I used to work for and design for corporate companies that were Fortune 500 companies. I understand the hierarchy in corporate America is completely different than this online business world. And now I do a ton of work with coaches and consultants and digital marketing agencies. What I'm saying is, if you have breadth of knowledge, don't dismiss that and package that into smaller branding packages because you think it will sell better. If it is not mounted and if it is not built with other supporting things that create a vision, which create a long-term eternal flame within you, that will lose fire. And you're actually cutting off your left arm in order to favor your right arm. It does not make sense. So if you're in this situation and you've been sold the concept of there's riches and niches, first of all, who doesn't like that? That's a great phrase. It sounds like it makes sense. Isn't the world specializing? Yes, and the world is specializing. And if you want to be next level, if you want to be world-class business like I'm building over here at Launch, you've got to be a specialist in many different arenas and many different niches and be able to be the one who sees across all those different things so you can bring the most value back to your offer, to your clients, how you deliver. Like, you think that you can be in an industry right now and not know AI? No, you can't. So are you supposed to be a technology expert? No, but you need to know enough of the wave of what's happening. Guys, what I'm telling you right here, this is going to keep you in the game. This is going to keep you in the game and create actual value behind what your high ticket offer is. Let me know if this is hitting. I feel I went on a little preachy sermon kind of thing there on business, but as I was working it through with this guy, I felt really inspired to come on here and share this so that people don't think this is the only route forward. So what does this look like? The other route forward is you can stay in your zone of genius and serve either all industries, a certain type of industry, or multiple. So you can serve only online businesses that are digital. You can sell to only offline businesses. You can sell to only large corporate America businesses. You can sell to medium-sized businesses. Everyone talks about small and large corporations. Y'all, there's a medium. There's a part that's a medium. And small businesses have such a wide range of who that looks like. And so you can niche down based on the type of business the person has. Or here's another thing that you may have not considered. You could niche down, but it be across 3 industries so that you can say, hey, I do roofing, I do painters, and I do one other thing. I don't know. Tilers, people who tile. You can say that. That construction industry is fresh on my mind. You can do something like that. So, for example, within Launch, we work with all types of businesses, but the way we narrow our avatar down is we're only going to work with established businesses who are primarily, if not all, online. And the third thing is that they have to have a desire to become a world-class business. And these 3 things, that's what qualifies somebody for us. It's not just money. It's not just revenue. It's not just what they do or who they serve. it comes down to if they're looking to go from here, established business, to here, being world class, that's the type of person whose energy we can take and harness and send it back to them triple fold. We know how to do that. That's what gets us fired up, right? But the industry doesn't matter. So we serve a ton of different people. And we're at the point now, we get a fit pro who comes in as a prospect. They're like, have you helped other fit pros? Sometimes they'll ask that. And literally, that's such a newbie question. When somebody asks me, have you helped my specific type of business? I know that like they have not been coached very much because they're more worried about what it is they do rather than the strategy behind how they're doing and what are they thinking and what should they be implementing that they're not and what should they stop doing that they're doing. So that's my giveaway when someone's a newbie. Have you helped other industry? Yeah, we have. But at this point, our breadth of knowledge is so big that we can literally see across fit pros and understand the trends of that industry, that marketplace, what branding is working, who are the big players, what's the competition look like, and what does our client need to be doing next to one up and understand their stratosphere and where they're working. Same thing with tech clients. Tech clients will be like, have you worked with tech clients? Yes, we have. By the way, and I have a undergrad in computer science. Okay, cool. Street cred. But what that does is it creates you as the zone of genius, as you, the person who is the consultant who doesn't like McKinsey. If you go to McKinsey, they serve all kinds of industries across the board. And that creates stability in their business. Can y'all drop stability in the comments? Stability in a business is so important, especially if you are a coach and you're like rocking this online world. Like, you've got to understand business 101. You have to create stability in your business. And what I mean by that is consistent lead flow, consistent conversions, consistent sales, and consistently growing. In business, if you're not growing, you're dying. You are dying because if you stay status quo, you will eventually get pushed out because somebody wants it more than you. What is up, Tyler? Thank you for commenting. Appreciate you. They're more worried about what they do. Yes, exactly. So when they see you in this different light and they can then say, oh my God, this company is like, they know about all these different things. You create gravitas. In other words, you create authority. So all of these things are sort of related, but when it comes to business stability, you've got to be able to have a solid, wide, long, deep foundation because you don't know what's going to happen next. And I don't have to preach on that. Look what happened in 2020 with COVID. There was an insurgence of online businesses. What do you guys think is going to happen? If there was an up that shot up really fast with everyone being online, do we not believe and think or anticipate what goes up comes down? You know what I mean? That is like one of the laws of physics, right? So understanding that business is going to be a lot more like an organism. I want you to think of it that you've got to be actively feeding the organism and thinking about where does growth look like? Where is safety areas for me? Where is the risk in this business? And how do I cover a lot of bases? So, for example, if you are a coach that only coaches online fitness coaches, which there are, actually, I'm friends with a few of them. If you are that and you saw an insurgence of clients because everyone who was a Fit Pro took their business online in COVID, you need a backup plan. Because there is about to be the offload, the deload of that insurgence, and some of those businesses will not have made it, and they will go back to in-person gyms so that they can be a Fit Pro at those gyms rather than the online business they thought they could have. There is only so much of a market. There is only so much of a market before it goes from blue ocean to red ocean. So if you're that coach and you've niched in that segment, you need to start thinking about PTs. You need to start thinking about nutritionists. You need to think about people who consider themselves more wellness or naturopathic. You need to think about a side industry that might make sense with what you were doing. That's what creates stability. So I want you to do this. I want you to think and take some time for yourself to say, if I'm doing this and my business were to stop with the current niche I'm in, who is the next niche I would go to? Where would I go to next? If you already are in this camp where you don't believe the niches are in the riches, or you were like wavering on that thought, I want to set you free. In order to get out of that concept of riches are in the niches, you've got to develop an acumen in what you do, whether it's you or your team, and hiring the right people that is so specifically your zone of genius that you are arguably the best. Be the MJ in your field. Be the MJ in what you deliver and what your service is. So if you can say, hey, our zone of genius, for example, to give you a sense of, hey, Jessica, what's going on? How's it going, girl? In launch, our zone of genius is not just logos. It's not just design. Otherwise, we'd be every Tom, Dick, Harry who's got an agency that's graphics out there. What we specialize is the intersection of brand strategy meeting business coaching. Completely different thing. You will not be able to find somebody who does it at the level that we executed at. And that has a lot to do with my own business savvy I'm bringing to the table. So we combine these things of brand strategy mixed with business coaching. And by the way, we know how to sell like a mother. Sell, and we know how to create profitability in business. Guess what you have? You have a zone of genius that we've created for ourselves, that when people get on the phone with us, which by the way, we get a ton of inbound messages where people are like, I'm ready. I want to talk to you now. Let's go. We close them at multiple high tickets, like way higher than what's normal high ticket. The reason is that we've created preeminence in the field because we put it back on us. I am not somebody who shies away from hard work. I'm not saying I'm a complete believer of hustle culture, but I'm also not a believer in like, let's work 4 hours a week and chillax and then you're making $100K a month. I don't believe in that either. So I'm here to be the real me. And I'm telling you, it's in between that. It's not the Grant Cardone, like, work until your fucking face falls off. Like, that's stupid too. I've seen a lot of people work really hard and not get anything. Also, the 4 weeks and chill and pretend you're on like a beach in Maui and like you didn't do anything is also marketing at its finest, and it's bullshit. You do have to push yourself, but in that, I'm going to wrap it up here. It comes down to belief within yourself. Every time I talk to somebody who is a prospect, the biggest thing that's lacking is the real inner belief that I am amazing at what I do. I know that I'm doing exactly what I was meant to do, and I understand the power that I wield with the secret sauce that is specifically me. One of those three things are missing, if not all of them. I don't care what level. We have clients who are at $250K a month. I don't care what level you're at. One of those pieces are missing. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. This was to start debunking myths that I know don't exist and are not real. And it was a time, it was a thing, it was a trend. But y'all, when everyone gets savvy to the trend in marketing, you've got to go. That thing is dead and done. Moving on. So here's what I encourage you to do. Go deep within. Search for that belief about what are you made, like what were you made on this planet to do that literally no other person can do. Plus, what can you sell? What can you sell? What is something that people would buy from you? So I'm at the point now where, if you've seen it, I've done my no sales paid masterclass. I dropped an ad for that. We've been promoting that. It's out there. We've got a ton of registrations. Super exciting to be doing that because I feel so passionate about sales, and I feel passionate about being a brown woman who is damn good at sales. Two things. So I have a very different perspective on what sales looks like than a male or a male of a certain race would think about it. So if you want that class, if you want to be in it, drop $27. My birthday's at 27. Drop that below. We'll get that over to you. Just a simple link. We're pretty honest. Like, you just are going to get what you get. That's it. Like, yeah, what wording there? Pretty honest. Yeah. English, whatever. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. So if you want that, drop $27 below for our paid masterclass on the no sales call. But it comes from this. It's from having a ton of belief that is all pulled together and you are solid in what you do. So I just had a sales call with a woman, and at the end of it, she was doing the thing where she's telling me back why I'm so valuable and like why I'm charging what I'm charging. It was actually really sweet. I'm like, man, I should like listen to this like on a day I feel like crap about myself. By the way, Jessica, I got you. Joe Parker, I got you. Got your 27 for the paid masterclass. Listen, I also have days that I don't feel like this. I want you to know that's normal. Bijal Patel does not wake up every morning saying, I am going to crush and I'm going to kill it with launch and we're the best in the world. I don't always have those days. There are some days that I wake up and I'm like, that's normal too. So can we please normalize what's normal and allow other people to start ascending into a different tier of wealth creation? That's what I'm about. I'm here and I'm going to do that. I'm going to help women, moms, and minorities rise and create wealth within their businesses. And the way to do that is by debunking myths that don't make sense or are out of date and introducing what is real. And what is real is not always the sexiest thing as it comes to marketing, which is why I'm not a huge marketer. I'm a sales girl through and through. But if you're the right fit, we will make it happen. If you're not, I heard another girl's feeling yesterday. I hope she's not watching. I kind of hurt her feelings in a way or a different way where I didn't offer her anything. And I think she took it maybe a little personally. We're like, why didn't you offer me anything? And I said, listen, I might in 30 days, but I'm like, you are not mentally, emotionally, or financially ready for me. I was like, I would like steamroll over you. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to empower women, especially women of color. So anyways, I just want to talk about that. Selling responsibly is so important. I was just talking to a client about mine today, and I was so proud of him. He had a woman come to him. He sells Facebook ads and marketing. He's freaking bomb. And the woman came to him, and she wanted to be sold to, and he literally felt it and could see she was not ready. So he ended up giving her a lot of free coaching and telling her what she could do next on her own, like to help grow her business, grow her revenue, with just the good spirit of like, hey, if it makes sense for you in the future, hit me back up. And that it's like a fishing analogy of like the catch and the release. That literally made me feel so proud of him, and that I was able to give him something that's creating a better world, to be honest. Like, it's creating more humanity. So if you don't do the masterclass, that's fine. But if you're going to be there, it's going to be really simple. And I'm going to break down what are sales things that work really well and what are some of the things that kind of fell out of fashion or people are now savvy to and you need to take a new approach. In business, it's adapt or die. What I'm teaching in this class, it might be completely out of date in a year. But the thing is, somebody's got to be real with y'all and tell you, yeah, that was so 2021. And that's where the interior designer in me comes out. I know trends. There are trends in marketing. There are trends in sales. There are trends in offers. So you can literally be like, oh, yeah, no, that was so 2021. So last thing I'm going to drop here. This one is probably going to get a lot of pushback, but I'm always ahead of the trends. It's 2021 here, and I think two steps are dead. I think the two-step is dead. Honeypot post, whatever you want to call it, the freebie, it's dead. So moving on. All right, peace out, guys. Take care.